Well, that was a song called Be Mine Tonight, and it's remarkable because it's the first record in 10 years from an artist who used to be Britain's most successful singer, a pop idol who was once compared to Elvis Presley, who rose from being a tugboat hand on the Mersey ferries to a 60s superstar, sailing up the charts with a flotilla of hits like Halfway to Paradise and Once Upon a Dream. For the past 10 years, he's been living on a farm in Wales, which is probably about as far from the frantic pop business as you can get. But now he's back on record, I'm pleased to say, back in Liverpool. Billy Fury, good afternoon, welcome to the programme.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are the sheep then?
The sheep are thankfully very well. They've all been checked over only about 6 weeks ago. There's about 200 of them there.
And apart from the sheep, what else you got?
I also breed horses. I'm hoping to breed some nice show horses. When I say hoping, if I do, I'll be very lucky.
Whereabouts is your farm?
It's up in mid Wales, south to mid Wales, way up in the mountains. Very, very pollution free, real clean farming land. It's pasture, and it's also very nice for wildlife and bird life to find a good living off the land as well.
Sounds perfect, far from the madding crowd.
Yeah, I guess so.
So what persuaded you to make a new record after all this time?
Well, an old business associate of mine and a great friend has been ringing me up for the last 6 years, about once or twice a week, and saying to me, why don't you make a record, let me feature it for you, and I'll arrange everything for you, you just come along to the studio. And I've been trying to say no, and eventually he went into the studio without me knowing and made the whole track, and just left it without a vocal on there. Then he rang me up and said, I've got the track for you, will you just please come in and put your vocal on? Well, I thought it was extremely nice. So I went along down to Polydor, went along to a studio there, walked in, it took about an hour or two, and as he said, it was quite easy to do.
Good. Have you sung in the last 10 years at all?
I haven't sung professionally. I do a little songwriting occasionally, just for my own kind of a hobby, if you like. The songs that I put on the shelf. I play a little guitar and just sing one or two tunes. Nothing more than that.
Would you like it to be a success? Would you like to be back in the charts again?
It would be nice, but I certainly wouldn't like any kind of the pressures which I used to go to. But they have assured me that I don't have to go out and do shows here. I don't have to travel the country doing shows and haul around, anything like that. And that would be a nice, easy affair.
From talking to you, Billy, it would seem that things like this, being interviewed and going round and meeting people is not what you would list as your number one favourite hobby.
Well, I do like meeting people, but probably in a pub or a wine bar or a club or something, and being more relaxed. I guess when you get questions asked, I guess you feel a bit nervous. It's like an interview, and I've always been shy. I think that's really the main reason. I think probably too shy. It's held me back in a lot of ways throughout my life. But I'm still trying to break down the barriers of shyness, and I hope I'm getting better.
Oh, I'm sure you are. I expect a lot of people listening this afternoon at home will be very surprised, because they probably think of you as oozing with confidence, remembering you as you were. They're probably quite surprised that you're so shy. Yeah, I think so. And unfortunately, shyness is can sometimes be wrongly interpreted, and people can think you're either stuck up because you don't want to talk to anyone, or they can think you're a real moody kind of a person. But there's a lot of people that are shy, and people just get the wrong idea of them altogether. And looking back to the old days, did they put it down to moodiness with you then?
With me, they did. They thought I was very, very moody, kind of going on stage or TV, and not being really full of confidence, like some people were. I found it difficult to try and really relax and smile, so I was kind of looking very serious all the time, and people thought I was very, very moody, which really fitted in with the time. And I suppose with the kind of songs I was doing, which were the kind of dramatic ballad type things.
It's surprising that somebody who hates the limelight and is so shy really gets to being in that position in the first place. You'd think it was the last thing you want to do, get up on stage and sing in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, well, that's very true. But when I was a youngster, I suffered a hell of a lot of illness throughout my childhood. Missed a lot of schooling. And every time I went to school, say, after coming out of hospital, the kids had moved on and I couldn't keep up with them. And consequently, I didn't learn as much as I should. And when I left school, I wasn't advanced enough to cope with life. And it was down to me doing kind of physical work and very, very heavy work. And when the rock and roll and everything came along, and people were very, very musical in Liverpool, even then, going back to the old country and western days. And when the chance to go into the music business came along, it really was great for me to be able to do something else which wouldn't take so much energy by using up, using my body just physically, 24 hours a day, say, on the tugboat, and then 24 hours off.
Looking back, it's incredible that you were Britain's most successful recording star with a dozen songs in the top 10. Never had a number one, did you?
No, but I was always very pleased not to have a number one, believe it or not, because I thought once you have a number one, maybe an awful lot is expected from you. I thought a number 3, a number 4, number 5 was just fine if I was down there with all the guys. I found that very nice, and also I thought I was very lucky to get where I was getting as well.
You never went to America despite your great success over here. Was that a deliberate decision?
Yes, they tried to get me to go to America, do the Ed Sullivan show and things like that. But I also had offers to go down to Australia, and I think South Africa and other parts of Europe. But I just really didn't want to go. I felt that I was too much of a home bee, and I knew that if I was in Britain, I was always close to home, and my parents were close if I needed any help, if I needed any advice from anyone. I thought if I was in America working, it would be a whole completely different scene. And if I was in Europe and singing in English, which is a language they wouldn't be able to understand, I thought the whole thing was a waste of time, really.
Is it fear?
Slightly fear. I've probably gone through a lot of fear in the early parts of my career, making it in Britain, and it could be there was a bit of fear involved. I didn't want to go through the whole thing again in America or somewhere else.
But if it was a big success, would you be, after everything we've talked about this afternoon, tempted to do any more, sort of touring and TV shows? Would you be happier now, do you think?
I'd be happy because I wouldn't do all those kind of things. I wouldn't put myself on the line to any chance of making myself ill again. But I'm so sure I'd do a few promotion things, but television makes me very nervous. I don't know why. Just standing there and having a camera on you, I think, is horrifying.
And you don't want to do any more radio interviews? Not after this afternoon, eh?
Well, you've been very nice and also very easygoing, and you've made me feel very relaxed. Thank you for it.
Billy, it's been very nice to meet you. The best of luck with the new single, Be Mine, tonight.
Thanks, V.
I know you're going to have a cup of tea with your mum, and then you're off because you've got a mare that's about to foal, haven't you?
That's right, yeah, I'm very excited about that. Put a certain stallion on one of the mares, and hoping this time that it comes out looking really right.
Great. Billy, the very best of luck. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks, man. Bye.
9, 4, 3,